Hello everybody, and welcome to a Theros Beyond Death draft here on the channel. Before I dive in, I want to remind you that if you enjoy the video, remember to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos. If you have any questions or feedback, leave that in the comments section down below. We're going to be starting things off with a Woe Strider. This rare is quite powerful, works in any black deck. It's a little bit unfortunate to pass two good black uncommons and a great green uncommon because those are the best color combo for Woe Strider. The Woe Strider also works great in red-black, so maybe we can wheel this Portent to Betrayal and have a nice start for that. But yeah, I think pretty easy Woe Strider. Hope to wheel Portent to Betrayal or one of these black cards, but I don't think that's going to happen. So if we think that Portent is going to wheel, which I think it will, because that pack was very strong. There are at least like 8 cards probably I would take over Portent. We can already set ourselves up to play red-black Sacrifice with a pretty good enabler. And we can follow up our Woe Strider. Oh gosh, Shadow Spear. Why is that in the pack? They took an uncommon over it. I don't think there's any uncommon I would take over Shadow Spear. This card is disgusting and broken. I was about to say we could take Omen of the Forge to stick with red-black Sacrifice, or just have a Soul Reaper of Mochas to stick with red-black. But Shadow Spear is the clear pick. This card is a bomb, and you should not be passing that card ever. Especially pack one, pick one, where it's a colorless card, so it's going to make your deck no matter what. Like, even against the control decks, it's good because it gives your creatures trample, and it makes it so that if they're like trying to sit behind some defenses and chip away at you with flyers or something like that, you just shut all that entire plan down. So we started off this draft great. I think one of the keys to Theros Beyond Death is making sure you can play all of your bombs and powerful cards you open. And I'm actually looking to play red-black Sacrifice if I can get my hands on it. It looks like this pack is not the one to move in on the Archetype. There's a Final Flare, but I don't prioritize those. You only really want one copy. So I think I'll take a Warbriar Blessing because it is a good card with the Woe Strider. And it's definitely the best card in this pack in terms of power level for limited. There's also Birth of Meletus, which can go okay if you have a certain type of controlling white-black deck. But I think we're going to take Warbriar Blessing, but keep in mind that we still kind of want to play this red-black Sacrifice strategy. And now there's really nothing in this pack for us, so we're going to take a Underworld Ragehound, a nice aggressive card. I still am thinking that the Portent is going to wheel, and then we might wheel the Soul Reaper of Mochas out of the next pack after that, but I don't think both of those are likely to happen. Citizen Training is okay. Nyx Lotus is not really a card for limited. Nylea's Forerunner is probably the next best card in the pack, but I think we're going to make sure we get some good 2-drops. Wow, now there's a Mischievous Chimera. So we could abandon ship on our black and our green card and jump onto the blue-red bandwagon. I think that's worth it. It's only pick 5. There's also a Thirst for Meaning in this pack, and Thirst is a very good card in the blue-red deck. Shadow Spear also good in blue-red because you can put it on your flyer and make it like you can recover from racing situations that you might not otherwise. If you put on Mischievous Chimera, you'll even do an extra damage with the ping ability. So Warbriar's Blessing getting at pick 3 is about where I'd expect to get it, so I don't view it as a huge signal. Like, you have to think about where you'd expect to see the card. So Mischievous Chimera, I wouldn't expect to be in the pack 5 cards in. So, yeah, and this is part of the power of Shadow Spear, is now I kind of have the base for any number of decks. I could go black-red with Shadow Spear, I could go green-black with Shadow Spear, I could go green-red, but that's less likely, I could go blue-red. The options are limitless. Okay, and now there is Final Flare. I think this card's going to be pretty good. Getting a copy is nice. I don't prioritize Loathsome Chimera. I tend to get those whenever I need them. Mochas' Favor, not a high pickup either. Omen of the Hunt. None of these cards are high priorities. Neither is Eidolon, but Final Flare is going to work. I could play it in my red-black sack deck. I can also sacrifice Omens, so I can play this even in my blue-red deck. And I think I'm probably going to wheel the Portent, as I said before, so I like where I'm at. I haven't seen any good black cards, really. I think I saw one pick. Which pick was it? I think it was the first pack we opened had a bunch of good black cards in it. We saw one Soul Reaper of Mochas. Pick 3? Yeah, I'm not sure where exactly we saw the Soul Reaper. But yeah, and now we can get a Omen of the Sea. It's a pretty good card for the Blue-Red Spells deck. There's also a Threnody Singer, so maybe we'd rather have that. I like Omen of the Sea, especially with Final Flare, because you can sacrifice it. This pack is loaded with goodies for blue-red. Play cards on your opponent's turn. And it's looking at the open lane. Vexing Goal is also quite nice for that deck, but I think I want one of the 2-mana plays. I think Threnody Singer might just be the best card, and I think I'm going to take it. Omen of the Sea you don't want too many copies of, because you'll just be spinning your wheels doing nothing, but Threnody Singer can ambush some things, do good work. I think I'm going to take Omen. I actually really want Omen with the Final Flare that I have. And now I can take Oread of Mountain's Blaze. Pretty solid 2-drop for the cast spells on your opponent's turn, because if they don't do anything worth responding to, you can just cast Oread. I'm really not sure on that pick. I think the 1/3 was a fair pick in that pack. And then I think there was one other card that was also pretty strong. I just really like the Final Flare plus Omen synergy. It makes it so I can play this Final Flare. Portent did come back, but so did Thrill. Oread, Eidolon did come back as well. I kind of want to take the Portent to go with the Woe Strider, but I don't think Black's open, so I might just take Thrill as a way to cast cards during my opponent's turn, and then hope to get more payoffs later. I don't think we're playing Black or Green. I think we're in the Blue-Red deck. And Final Flare has uses if they go to use removal on your creatures as well, so getting one's pretty nice. Soul Reaper came back. I'm going to take Brine Giant, because sometimes you end up with a lot of enchantments, and Brine Giant can be good in the blue-red spells on your opponent's turn deck. We already have 3 enchantments. 1, 2, 3. And it wears a Shadow Spear quite nicely. Final Flare number 2. This is one of the other reasons I prioritized Omen, is because I thought that this one might come back. So far the only card I'm unhappy to be playing is Thrill, so I'll start with that in the sideboard. Flowing Cyclops is not great in this deck either. The deck can play it as a tempo variant, so it can be main deckable. I mean, it generally plays out as a tempo variant. Infuriate is actually pretty good in the deck too. As I said, it's a tempo deck. Infuriate just like lets you push through damage, and we got a nice sideboard card. Moving on to pack 2, there's another Mischievous Chimera. We're just going to snag that, hope to wheel Starlit Mantle. We don't really want Glimpse of Freedom. Incendiary Oracle would be solid as well. The second Mischievous Chimera is legendary for us, though. It's amazing. Probably one of the best non-rares we could have opened. It just really makes the deck tick. Lets you scry to find more spells. Overall, really good card. Now we could pick up a Stern Dismissal or a Naiad. I don't really prioritize the Naiad all that much, because like if you look at it, our cards are already relatively cheap. So like making our Omens of the Sea cost 1 instead of 2 is not going to be insane, and is a sorcery play itself. So I'm really going to make sure we get our first Stern Dismissal, because we want to have cards to cast on our opponent's turn. Nobody else really wants the Naiad, so we might get it back anyway. With 2 Mischievous Chimeras, I think Thrill could be a good play. The good thing about Naiad is it does fuel the Brine Giant. I like how we kind of found our way. We kind of leaned into our lane. Sacrifice a creature or enchantment. So Omen is so far the best card to sacrifice to it. And now we got a Dreamstalker Manticore. I think we have to take the Manticore over the Omen of the Forge. I would love the Omen, but Manticore just really makes the deck tick as well. It's another great payoff along with the Chimeras. I think you take the payoffs over the Enablers, because we already have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards to cast at instant speed, and only 2 payoffs right now. And I think Dreamstalker also makes Brine Giant cost less. And we could maybe even wheel Deny the Divine from this pack. We're not going to wheel Omen of the Forge, unfortunately. Omen of the Forge does work with Final Flare, but I think we have to take Dreamstalker. I really like Omen of the Forge in this build, though. Maybe it was correct. We can pick up an Ichthyomorphosis now. Foil Lamy is pretty solid, but we'll just take the Ichthyomorphosis. It makes our Brine Giant cheaper. Omen of the Forge is a godsend, amazing card, perfect, just what we needed. Myra's Grasp going around pretty late, but I think that's because the person passing to us was in black, and so we didn't see any black cards, and so they'll be getting hooked up this pack. But Omen is perfect, it works with our Final Flares. Now we have 2 Omens, 2 Final Flares. I'm liking it. I'm liking the build. Omens also make our Brine Giant cost less. I'm liking this deck a lot. I think it's quite good. Cyclops isn't really what we need, but I think Manticore was the correct pick there, but it's very close with Omen of the Forge just because Omen is really good with what we're going, especially with double Final Flare. We already have a lot of Scry, so we're hopefully not going to have to sacrifice these to Scry. Also, nobody else takes Mischievous Chimera because it's not a splashable card, so if any more get opened, we're going to get all of them. Presumably. Yeah. Opponents making their picks. Oh man, blue-red gold card, but still not what we want. That's a real shame. It's a 3-mana 2/4 essentially. Quick creatures you control have flying and haste. Actually, this card's actually pretty good in our deck. It's like solid. It's a 3-mana 2/4 that makes our Shadow Spear give flying and haste. There's also an Arena Trickster. Oh, this actually made the pick really interesting. Arena Trickster is probably just better. Equipped creatures you control have flying and haste. Giving our Shadow Spear creature flying is quite nice. I think we're just going to take it. Arena Trickster is like a mediocre payoff for the deck. Whoa, we got a Wrath. Deals 4 damage to each creature in Planeswalker. That's huge. I mean, it's not like absurd with the creatures we have. Like, it'll still kill all of our creatures. But we're relatively low on creatures. So I could see us going like Omen of the Sea, turn 3, not doing much. I think we'll take another Final Flare. Wow, someone's going to get 2 Gallias. Nuts. We'll take another Final Flare. Probably not going to play it, though. Wow, I think Dalekos is actually pretty good for our deck because of the Shadow Spear. And it's a 2/4, so it blocks relatively well. Like 4 toughness is a lot of toughness. And we wield the Incendiary Oracle. We did not wheel the other card that we wanted to wheel. There was something in the pack. We don't want Heroes of the Revel, but getting a nice 2-drop is good. And now an Aspect of Manticore. Sure, we can cast that on the opponent's turn. Probably not going to... It also fuels our Final Flares because we can sacrifice the enchantment. So I think it's more useful for that purpose than for anything else. I think the Dalekos pick is really interesting because Arena Trickster is like a low-end payoff for the deck, but I don't think it's even an insane payoff because it's like a slow, dirtly ground creature. But Dalekos can make our Shadow Spear terrifying. Like giving flying makes him scary. Oh, baby! What? What? We wield Omen of the Forge. Let's go. We really did it. This is when people... Ooh. We can consider playing Bronze Sword with Dalekos in our pile. Wings of Hubris. The flying doesn't really matter with Dalekos. But Bronze Sword, like... If we have Dalekos, it gives +2/+0, flying, and haste. We could consider it if we are short on a playable or two. I don't think that's going to happen, given that we're literally the only red drafter. I think that's the only way that we wheel Omen there. And get a 9th pick, Storm's Wrath. Wow, Wheeling Arena Trickster. Let's go! We are the only red drafter. We have found the open lane. Heck yes. Foil Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Not really for us. There's a Final Flare. Where this is not a splash deck. There's also Memory Drain, which I don't really like in this deck because even though we have things to do in instant speed, they're kind of not counterspell based. Though I could see taking it. We could just take Final Flare and then just really go all in on Final Flares. We already have a 3rd Final Flare though. Triumph of Annex. I actually kind of like Triumph of Annex with all the Final Flares we have. Because we can sacrifice it to Final Flare. I think we're going to play all the Final Flares we get. Because what we do is we pump a flyer, pump a flyer, pump a flyer, and then with the fight trigger on the stack, we sacrifice it. I don't know. We don't really have a great option there that we're happy playing, so. Whew. What? Wow, and we might even wield the Mischievous Chimera. Holy jeez. This deck just got infinitely better. 5 mana 4/5 Flash Flyer. Yeah, and then Mischievous Chimera might wheel. We don't need Brine Giant anymore, that's for sure. I don't think we need Triumph, and I think we'll cut 1 Final Flare. If that Mischievous Chimera comes back around, oh my goodness, that would be the dream. Whew, the Rage Hound is not looking too bad either because we don't have any other way to use our graveyard. This deck is magnificent. Whenever I end up in blue-red, it ends up as like one of the best decks I've ever seen in my life. Holy heck. Hokey smokes, Bullwinkle! That's a Rocky and Bullwinkle reference. Okay. Wow. We are like rolling in the playables. What the heck? Shimmerwing Chimera with 3 omens? Sign me up, please? Where do I sign up? This is getting ridiculous. And now another Omen of the Sea. We don't really want Witness of Tomorrow's. Omen of the Sea is just too perfect for the deck. We can sack it to Final Flare. Oh my gosh. It also is just a thing to cast it instant speed. Now that we have 4 Omens, an Aspect, and just the ability, I think we can just play Final Flares at will. And Underworld Rage Hound is our only way to use the graveyard, so it's still good. Thrill of Possibility is looking a little bit weaker. We have so many powerful cards, we don't need to like discard 1 powerful card to get 2 more. We also have Storm's Wrath, just because. Like, why wouldn't we run a Wrath? Thassa's Oracle. If we ever wanted to deck ourselves. I don't think this is a Thassa's Oracle deck. We're very heavy on red, so getting double blue is trickier. I think we just want another Omen of the Sea. Especially because we might wheel that Mischievous Chimera. Every Omen we cast getting a ping is really nice. And also the combo with Shimmerwing Chimera. And being able to find our Wrath for when we need it. Whew, baby. Every card I add, I'm like figuring out what I'm going to cut. So I think I'm going to cut Infuriate next. Because the Aspect is just better. Maybe Infuriate's better. Oh my gosh. I think we take second Shimmerwing here with 5 Omens. Seems good. Dreamstalker Manticore is great. Don't get me wrong. So would Vexing Gull, but... yeah. This is not fair. We'll get a Dreamstalker, no big deal. There's another Final Flare that we could play, but... let's just keep loading up on payoffs, shall we? I mean, we're not going to wheel that other Dreamstalker, but I wish we would. Are we the only player in blue or red It's what it feels like. We don't need Aspect of the Manticore anymore. Or Ichthyomorphosis. We have 2 Omens and 3 Final Flares for removal. And a Stern Dismissal. Yeah, this is just really silly. Now we can pick up a Vexing Gull over the 4th Final Flare. Yikes. This is absolutely nuts. This might be the best deck I've ever drafted in the format. And we're about to see whether or not Mischievous Chimera wheels. Warning, I might give an exclamation of joy and surprise when we wheel the Mischievous Chimera, which it seems like likely we will do because I don't think anyone else is drafting blue-red. Because... What? We didn't wheel it? Aw. Sad day. I guess it's just... Do we want Final Flare number 4 or Memory Drain? I think we just prioritize a Memory Drain just so that we can deal with a bomb that we might not otherwise be able to answer. Did someone hate draft a Mischievous Chimera? I don't see how there could be another blue-red drafter in this draft. Aww. How did that happen? Someone took our Chimera from us. That monster. They hate drafted it. Someone hated it. Oh, that's evil. The evil. Oh. I think we'll just play one of those to start with. We don't really need Incendiary Oracle, do we? It's probably better than Oriad, or it's probably worse than Oriad. I don't even know. Thirst for Meaning could be good. Though all of our cards are so good that I don't know what we're going to cut. Well, I must say I like the look of this deck. I like it a lot. Okay, what are we going to run here? So we have 5 Omens, 3 Final Flares, seems like a good mix. Thirst for Meaning seems good, right? I don't think we need Thirst for Meaning. Dalichos is good. Having one way to use the graveyard is nice. Board Wipe is good. I think we cut Arena Trickster. And run 16 lands. Our deck is pretty cheap. And we have a lot of card draw too. I think that makes sense. And then we run 8/8 split. So by converted mana cost and call it a day. I hope you enjoyed the draft, and I look forward to seeing you in the matches. Before I get to the match, I do want to say I made some quick changes to the deck. I consulted with my good friend Alex, known as Court of Calls on the internet. He's been a guest before, and he recommended this build. He pointed out that Brine Giant is going to be incredibly cheap in my deck, so I added a Brine Giant over a Final Flare. And then he also pointed out that if I have a Shadow Spear, I'm already probably winning, and also a lot of my creatures already have flying, like the Ghoul, the Chimera, the Thrix, so I probably don't need the Dalichos, and instead I added an Arena Trickster. Those are changes that I could get behind, and so we are going to see how the deck performs in the matches. I hope you stay with me. Before I get to the matches, I want to give a big shout out to all of my patrons over at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Thank you so much for your support, and special thanks to my patrons that support at the credits level, Eric S., Stephen W., Brent, and Mr. Martinez. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you would like to learn more about the Patreon, you can find that information at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Without further ado, let's get to the matches. Welcome to round 1. We have won the die roll. We are going to play first. And we have a solid hand. I'm going to keep this one. On the play, we have a lot of draws that help us get Later parts, we have a Shimmerwing. We need 1 land. An Omen of the Sea would probably get us a land too, and there's 3 of those in the deck. So we have about 18 good draws and 2 draw steps to get 1. Perfect. There's no 2-mana counterspell, so I'll just wait on this. See what my opponent's playing. Maybe that'll affect my scry, though I'm pretty much just scrying to find lands. Bottom that, that's probably the worst card in my deck, and we'll top the land. We have the Shimmerwing Chimera combo. And also the Final Flare combo. I'm not going to be afraid to just fire off the Stern Dismissal if I need some tempo, because, oh yeah, this game's over. If they had Omen, they probably would have killed my Dreamstalker. Fateful End is a good one. Where did they scry? They put one on the bottom. It's only your first spell each opponent's turn, right? Yep. Okay, I'm going to play the Oracle, and then I'm going to just cast Omen on their turn. This guy's going to come down the following turn. Ping their face. Oh, that's amazing. We can bottom the land, top that. And we have stuff to do on their upkeep. Actually, maybe we do it on their end step. Because it is a cast trigger, so it'll get the ping off no matter what, pretty much. Gains haste or destroys target artifact. Okay. Gains haste, sure. Kill that, bounce the Enax. They get a 1/1 that can't block. This costs 3 mana. Oh, we can cast this and Brine Giant. Should have attacked first with Oracle. Sorry if that startled you. It's hooked up to my stream, which means someone followed while I'm not even streaming. Kind of funny. Funny stuff. I muted that, so that won't happen again, but definitely amusing. It definitely startled me as much as it startled you. Okay, an axe. Play the Rage Hound, attack for 7. We could just trade off, but I like the idea of just being able to ping something small they play. Okay, Oriad. So we deal 1 to them in Scry, and we win the game. Okay, so we're playing against a heavy red aggressive deck. So what tools are good against aggro? Polemic Cyclops, definitely no. We don't need another Final Flare. Ichthyomorphosis could be okay, but it's really clunkier. That's better against big threats. Stern Dismissal's a potential option. We also have this Wrath, which is going to be great. I like my build. I think the configuration's ideal. We didn't see that much. We don't even know their second color. I'm assuming they're not mono red. So this hand's not bad, but it's not good either. I think we're going to mulligan. This hand is much better. We'll get rid of Stern Dismissal. Like, when you have a deck this powerful, hands like that last one that don't like do much, like the Brine Giant wasn't going to ever come down. Oh yeah, this one's already immediately better. Okay, that makes our decision easy. We'll just play the Chimera. Big fan of the Chimera. It's looking pretty good in our deck. This guy costs 6 right now. 5, 4, 3. We're just looking for islands and more spells right now. Fortunately, our opponent's creatures do not die to what we're dealing with here. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Guess we don't even really need islands that much. I would love a Final Flare, so we're going to just wait. We'll see what they do. Remember, we get an extra scry from our Chimera. So they're hitting us for 4. And we're essentially hitting them for 3 every turn because this will ping them every time we cast something on their turn, which is going to be every turn. Three toughness tribal, eh? Well, I find it hard to imagine we don't want that on top. 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 So this guy's almost cheap enough. And then we will double Omen of the Forge on their Nyx Herald. That was bad. I should have done that on their main phase. Do not need that land. That's quite bad for us. Or is it? I don't know. Why are they pumping that guy? Okay, so this guy costs 1, 2, 3, 4 less. He costs 3. I think we just wait and flash in our Thrix. Top that for sure. And that should be game. Arena Trickster, sure. So this guy costs 3. Now he costs 2. Now they're at 11. Next turn we hit them for 2, 6, 8. We're relatively safe. They can't kill a Brine Giant, so I think it's good to go for lethal in 2 turns instead of 3. Leaves less that can go wrong. We're at 7, so we're relatively safe as well. Also, if they have like a final flare for this guy, then we're closer to killing them as well. The Brine Giant has been such a huge boon for this deck. I'm glad I discussed things over with Alex, because that is such a good call to add that. Because it's so cheap. I found blue-red to have a lot of enchantments, so I guess that's right. Oh. Okay. Gotta jump. I'm so glad they didn't have like Mystic or whatever to end me. Boom! We won the match, and I'll see you in the next one. Welcome to round 2. We will choose to play first, and we have a fantastic hand. Any hand with a Chimera in it is going to be good for us. And we also have another payoff and then a Thrix to cast. So I'm feeling very optimistic about the power level of our hand here, and our chances of winning this game are quite high, I'd say. We have our best turn 2 play. Hopefully we find something to do on turn 3 so we can scry, keep the action flowing. But even if we don't find something to do, we'll have Arena Trickster into Thrix. Omen of the Sea, okay. And even though we didn't find anything that turn, we can still find stuff down the road. Like, we still have lots of cards that do things in our deck. We have only 16 lands, so we're pretty likely to draw spells. Nadir Kraken. Oh no. We're going to have to hope they can't answer our flyers. Or that we can find a final thing to kill the Nadir Kraken. What's it called? The final flare. Oh no. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The fact that we've only drawn lands this game is really starting to weigh heavily on me. I think the keep was fine though. Yep, they'll pay the 1, obviously. We can afford to take 6 here. Okay, that's fine. We'll top that. Then we have Omen of the Forge to cast on their turn, get another couple scries out. And they need a flyer. 6, 7, 8. Heart is beating fast. I don't want to die to Omen of the Forge. No. Okay, we haven't lost yet. Because we can chump with Thrix. We have to have them have nothing. Okay, so we can find Thirst for Meaning. I think is our best bet is just to go for it now. Boom! Let's go! Woo! Sorry. I know that might hurt someone's eardrums. I was super hyped to win that game. Beating Nadir Kraken always feels good, especially because we had a very rough start. Whew, but our deck is powerful. We got there in the end. Ooh, I'm shaking. I'm like nerves. Okay, against Nadir Kraken. Turning it into a 0-1 probably is too slow. I think we want another Final Flare. Over. Arena Trickster. Probably over the Oriole. Okay, we'll definitely mulligan. This hand is great, and they're on a mulligan too. And they're on the play, so they're a little bit more disadvantaged, and we'll just get rid of one of these extra islands. We have 2-drop, 3-drop, Omen of the Forge. Oh my gosh. Yes! If they play Mischievous Chimera, we'll just Omen of the Forge it right away. On our main phase even. Because now we can kill the Nadir Kraken at will with our Final Flare. I think it's way more likely that they have an Omen than a counterspell. Yeah. They have a lot of Omens of the Sea. Vexing Gull, sure. Ooh, Scophos, that's cool. We'll demand an answer from them. We didn't see a ton of removal from them, so I don't know if they have any. It's worth waiting on this. Because if they can't kill our Omen, we can just kill their guy with Omen. Sure. No attacks. On their turn, we can make Omen of the Forge, shoot their Wave Rider, ping it with Dreamstalker to kill it. Sure. Where are they scrying? Let's try to kill it in response. Give them less time to find a mantle or something. Ugh. So intense. They have put 2 cards on top. And they get rid of a Triton Wave Rider. I wonder what that means. That's interesting. Very interesting. We'll trade. Now that's really good with Storm's Wrath. How much does he cost? 3? Let's make them use their mana on Labyrinth of Scophus if they want to. Wow, they're trading? Omen of the Sea, okay. They put 2 on the bottom, and they get to scry 2 more. Oh, we can start scrying too, but we have really good spells in our hand. And we're way ahead this game. Let's just make that clear. We have 2 removal spells, essentially, one of which is going to kill multiple of their creatures, hopefully. And we also have 2 omens in play to their 1 for scrying purposes, though Final Flare kind of takes one of them. Okay. We're going to kill that. Sack the Omen. Because if we find our second Chimera, I guess we'd probably want to be flickering the Omen, but having a jump blocker is really nice. Okay. And they probably have to jump. We're not doing this now. Maybe it would be correct to. But putting them to 1. Okay. On their end step, we can bounce their Ichthyometamorphosis and win the game. Boom! We win the match, and we are headed to the finals. We are in the finals, and we have once again won the die roll. We will choose to play first. And we have a stellar hand ahead of us here. Oh my gosh, this hand is amazing. If we can go Chimera into Manticore, oh, we're against a white deck too. We have such a good white deck matchup. Oh my gosh. Because we have so much cheap removal, and they don't deal with Shimmerwing Chimera as well. Because it costs 6 mana to deal with it. Play something with 1 toughness, buddy. See what happens. Okay, that's not 1 toughness. Definitely hit them for 2. Play Manticore. You got this. Focus. I don't want to put my fingers on the buttons because my hands are kind of shaky a little bit. I don't know why. I get really nervous when I have a really good deck. I don't know why. It should be the opposite. I should be nervous when I don't have a really good deck, but I feel like the stakes are higher because I know this deck can win the whole thing. I know it. I believe in you, Blue-Red. I believe in you. Drawing a land would obviously be ideal next turn because then we could play Shimmerwing Chimera, and then the following turn we could upkeep an Omen of the Sea in response to the Shimmerwing Chimera trigger to try and hit our next land. Oh, yes. Oh my god, they're giving us time to set up. Oh, this is beautiful. If I had a land, it would be wonderful. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to play the Chimera. Masticore is quite tempting, but they're not attacking us with Hero of the Pride, so killing it doesn't really do much for us at the moment, other than letting us hit them for 6. And getting the Chimera train rolling is really good value. Now we will put a stop on upkeep. It's also a 3/2 flyer, so it attacks on the board much better. I think this is the correct play. It's a really close line, but because we can just do the Dreamstalker Manticore line when we have 5 mana, we drew a couple lands, which was really what we needed with this hand. I think 2 lands and a Manticore were probably some of the best possible draws. We also have a Wrath in case they're like a go wide deck. Well, we're going to have to kill that. Challenge accepted. Oh my gosh, there's no... Okay. Draw, that's a good draw. They have gained 2 life. I just hope they don't make too many 2/2s. I can kill the 2/2s, like I can ping them down over time. Okay. We'll ping the All-Seed. Sure. We can stabilize after a race from Shadow Spear, so we're fine. Upkeep. Nothing. I guess now it's exposed to Triumphant thing, but that's not a commonly main deck card. Before they draw too much to protect it. Yep, they gave it pro from blue, right? Don't really want another Chimera. Protection from red. Trickster's okay. It's not the greatest. Laguna Band, Storyteller. Well, this is our moment. We've got a golden opportunity here. We need a Omen of Perforos. Gonna cast this main phase. Try and find an answer to it. Because this like triples the number of answers we have for it. Bottom. Ah, gosh. We can't cast Thrix. I'm at the bottom. So they have Alcea, that's their draw step. So they're going to get another 2/2. I don't think they have +2/+2. Sure, they get another 2/2. One target enchantment. They do not have any enchantments. Sure. We have to nail the Alcide first. And then we take down the Archon, and then we start taking down the rest of their guys. Don't want that. 2 cards. Mountain and Oracle. Play Island. On their upkeep, we can go for a Omen of the Forge on Archon. And we can just keep trying this until it works. Don't need an island. Boom. Nailed him. Okay. We're going to let them attack us. Then we are going to bounce Heliod's Punishment and block 1. Just to keep our life total nice and high. Sure. Task counter removed. Untap. Oh, the abilities? Lose all abilities. Okay. Okay. Let's equip to this guy so they can't attack us. And then we'll flash in our Omen to kill Shimmerwing in response to the trigger. Oh, he's not targeting anything? Double Dreamstalker Manticore is disgusting. We'll definitely take another Omen. Don't need that. We'll keep that on top. Sure. Our Shimmerwing Chimera will be back in action soon. In the meantime, think we're going to start scrying with our omens because we have enough that we're going to be able to cast our deal 5s whenever we want. And our 5/5 is starting to grow till deadly sizes. And we're doing enough scrying that we'll probably find our Thrix again at some point in this game. Okay, what enchantment are they going to get? Sentinel's Eyes. Okay, they don't have a dread. They don't have an apathy. That's good. We'll put that guy on top. Every time this pings them, I also gain a life, so that's good to know as well. That goes to the graveyard. They can start flashing it back, but I guess this doesn't trigger because the beginning of my upkeep, so it's not worth putting a stop there. That's a good draw. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. I forgot to remove a task counter. I gave them one additional turn of me not attacking them with my flyers by not being able to bounce my Omen of Perforos. Six, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's growing though, he'll be there soon. Birth of Meletus, sure. We could not care less about Birth of Meletus. It is blank, essentially. We're going to kill the priest. Forgetting to do Heliod's Punishment makes me feel sad. Getting these guys out on tandem was really good. We don't need a... yeah. We don't need a second one. We have another scry as well. And we have 2 more scries from this. Brine Giant's going to be good. We do not need that, but Brine Giant will be yes. Omen of the Forge, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Draw step. Just get rid of that Heliod's Punishment, shall we? Just a single blue 5/6, no big deal. They have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 power. Just need to make sure we don't time out for future games. The 0-4 is irrelevant. Keep a vexing goal. Wow, we ground all the way through their board. Just have to pass through as quickly as possible while not making any stupid mistakes. That would really blow it for me. We have a lot of final flares. We only saw one protection spell with Alseid. We went through half their deck. Sure. Boom! Let's go. So we know about... They have an Omen of the Sea, a Flicker of Fate, 2 Birth of Meletus, Sentinel's Eyes, Heliod's Punishment, Hear the Pride, a Shimmerwing Chimera. Okay, we're going to bring in our 3rd copy of Final Flare to deal with the Archon. Stern Dismissal is okay against them. But Final Flare for Arena Trickster, I think, is the play. Maybe even for Vexing Gull. Because the 3/3 kind of beef guy on the ground could be useful. Yeah, I think this is where we're going to stick. I'm really optimistic about this final game. Underworld Ragehound might not be where we want to be. Because they have a bunch of 0-4, so yeah, let's do that change. I suppose it could punch through in the end, but... Vexing Gull is probably better, just because it triggers all our stuff. We didn't see a single removal spell other than Heliod's Punishment. So we have our 5 omens. Mulligan. Not the greatest of starts, but this is much better. We will keep this and ditch a mountain. This is by no means a good hand. But it at least can cast its spells. It can develop. If we find a Shimmerwing Chimera, it really goes off. We'll kill Alseid, or maybe we'll wait until turn 3 and try to nab it with a Vexing Gull. We'll kill it now. And then we can kill the Transcendent guy with a Vexing Gull. They don't know we have Vexing Gull because they didn't see it last game. So hopefully it's not on their radar. If we don't play Vexing Gull this turn, it's not the end of the world because we can just play Arena Trickster and then Vexing Gull along with Oread at Moment's Blaze the next turn. Boom! Let's go. We hath recovered from our mulligan. Taking out one of their cards for free. Feels good. What aura do they have in their deck? Heliod's Punishment, sure. We're still just going to cast this guy. They'll Heliod's Punishment it. Leaving Vexing Gull back to block the Pilgrim. Next turn, Oread can deal with Eidolon. They have 3 cards. We're getting really close to this stabilization point. I think we just activate this on our turn so that we don't forget it. Now we can start sending in with the flyer. It's all about whether or not they draw that stupid Archon. I think we got this, though. Sure. We have a looter, so we don't need to care about cracking this because we want to keep that in case we have the Chimera. We will keep Stern Dismissal for now, and we will use our Oread on their turn. We're doing this because we want to be able to get the Heliod's Punishment off our guy, and if they can reset that, it's really bad for us. So we can get another ping off by casting Omen on their turn. Kill another token. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? It's so sad because we can't keep either of these cards. What's my plan for beating it? Oh, I need to find Thyrax and flash him in. Well, that was a good draw. Oh, Thrix, I mean, not Thyrax. We know they don't have combat tricks, which is nice. It's only fitting if we beat Dream Trawler in this one. We're going to ping him just in case they have like +2/+1. Takes a rare to beat a rare. I beg of you, do not have anything. Boom! Okay, sorry. I know that was loud. My bad. My bad. Yes! You have no idea how frustrating it is to lose to... Actually, you probably do. If you've ever played against Dream Trawler, you know how frustrating it is to lose to that stupid card. Da 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 da. Okay. I think we're going to play the land so we can get a Scry 2 going. And that's the last land we need ever, because we can just discard Rest from to Oriad. One bomb rare down. We know they have more. No, they have that pesky Archon. Oh gosh. It's not an enchantment, is it? I beg of you. Oh, thank God. Any turns they spend getting back enchantments are turns they're not spending drawing their 3/4 flyer. I'm fine with those turns. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Top that, top the Shimmerwing. The problem is they have that Heliod thing, so I think we just get... Oh. Well then, I did not see that coming. I forgot about that. I should have hit with my 2/2, I guess. We're going to have to play a little bit quicker. Make sure we don't time out. My opponent has disconnected. Well, they've disconnected. I will turn back on the video when they reconnect. Welcome back. We are back in the game. Opponent is casting a Shimmerwing Chimera. And they do have that Heliod's Punishment in hand. We have to discard ours because we can't cast it. And then I believe we will cast Kill their Shimmerwing with our Omen of the Forge. And ping a token. So now it's just a top deck war, but we have an Oread and incredibly high card quality and a 5/5. We no longer have our Rage Hound in the deck, but we do have the board wipe. And as I said, this Oread is going to be huge for us. There's a Chimera, perfect. And we're never drawing a land again, and they are going to draw a decent amount because they only have 7 in play and 1 in the graveyard. Final Flare is just what we wanted. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We just want Arena Trickster to carry us. We don't need to do anything fancy with him. Hold up Final Flare. There's no way they have anything, right? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Really? They'd rather get rid of that than my 3/2 flyer. Okay. I have a lot of omens still in my deck. I've got another Omen of the Sea, another Omen of the Forge, Omen City in my deck. I'm just gonna keep up Final Flare because my 2/2 can't attack anyway. They've drawn up to 10 lands. But if you think about it, they've drawn 10 lands. We've drawn 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 lands. Nothing flickered. Yeah, we're not casting that ever. Sure. Boom! Got the trophy, got the win. That was an amazing draft. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. If you did, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag blue-red domination or hashtag broken blue-red or hashtag amazing blue-red, something about how great that blue-red deck was, because it truly was fantastic. We started off with a black card, and then we took a green card, and then we ended up in blue-red with a sick deck. That's why you stay open, and that is why we dominated that draft. If you did enjoy it, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to make sure you get notified when I post future videos, be sure to click that bell. Leave a comment in the comment section down below if you have any questions or feedback. I'd love to hear it. And if you would like to catch me streaming live, you can find me on twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. Yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I had a blast. I hope you had a blast, and I will see you next time.